Ladies and gentlemen, there's a ton for Dallas Cowboys fans to be excited about ahead of week 1 against the Cleveland Browns. The main thing that we should be excited about is this is a formidable team. This is a playoff team from last season. So Cowboys fans get the benefit of immediately getting to address their demons and going against a team that everyone in the league would consider to be a threat. The Cleveland Browns have one of the better defensive lines in the league with one of the best defensive ends in the league. The Cleveland Browns have consistently had one of the better run games in the league. And the Cleveland Browns have a quarterback that, if he's healthy and he's starting to return back to what he was before his serial meat-beating streak, he has a quarterback that's formidable and can beat you while throwing the ball. This is the perfect test for a young, hungry, and hopefully still slightly embarrassed Dallas Cowboys team as we head into Cleveland for week 1. Before I really get into the meat of this thing and we get our juices flowing, a word from our sponsors. BetUS, America's favorite sports book. Use my link in the description below right now and experience 125% first-time deposit bonus for, obviously, first-time depositors and some of the fastest payouts in the industry. So when you get to hit that bank account real quick as well, right? But the Cleveland Browns and Dallas Cowboys are slated for week 1 action. You can see here all of the odds and all the different ways you can place your bets with BetUS, including some game props as well if you go over to the website. But honestly, one of my favorite bets right now for week 1 specifically would have to be a Cowboys field goal being the first scoring play of the game, especially thinking about that vaunted Cleveland Browns defense and the fact that I don't think that they're going to break that easily, especially on the first drive of the game. I do think, however, the Cowboys offense is able to move that ball, but ultimately they stall out and we get a field goal kick from Butter Aubrey. If that is the case, you can place a $50 bet on BetUS and win $165 back just like that. All right, so BetUS, use my link in the description below, but let's get right back into the show. Going back to what I was teasing at the beginning of this video, the Cowboys are going to get a lot of questions answered. We're going to get questions answered about our rookie left tackle, Tyler Guyton. Can he handle the pressure? Can he handle lining up against one of the best in the NFL? He will be tested. Cooper Beebe will be tested because, again, he's also having to deal with that very same defensive line that includes Myles Garrett. Our run defense will be tested, ladies and gentlemen. Again, it doesn't seem to matter who totes the rock for the Browns. The Browns' run game has been one of the more devastating run games in the league for the better part of the last 5 years, it seems like. No, Nick Chubb won't be playing, but the Browns still had an effective run game even without Nick Chubb last season. So our run defense will get a first good test, and we will get a first good look at what they're going to be as a unit. Speaking of our run defense, according to one of our rookie linebackers, I think we can expect that to be improved even from what we were earlier this offseason, thanks to some of the moves the Cowboys have made. Check out what Marissa Lewifau had to say about the additions of Jordan Phillips and Linval Joseph.
It's been like seeing, the additions the team's made up front on the D-line, bringing in Linval Joseph, Jordan Phillips the last few weeks. How much do you feel like that's helped up front?
I feel like it's helped a lot, not only on the field, but these guys are veterans coming in, and so they bring a lot of knowledge, and they're natural leaders. And so for the young guys, especially me and the rookies, and we just look up to them, and they have a lot of things to share with us.
Yeah, Mike said it looked like some linebackers were smiling in the run defense drills in the first few reps that those dudes were out there in front of you guys.
So could you say that again?
Mike said it looked like some of you guys at linebacker position were smiling in the first few run drills with those two in front of you because of just how much they can make an impact.
Yeah, I mean, having great D linemen in front of linebackers is, it's everything really.
That right there is the importance of getting those types of guys on your team. No, they may not be prime guys. They're going to be a part of the long-term solution, but they're guys who can have a lasting impact on your locker room and on some of your key players later into their career, even when they're long gone. So Marissa Lewifau being able to say, like, hey, yeah, seeing those guys up there, and Zimmer pointing out the fact that the linebackers looked happy to see those guys up there for one, that kind of lets us know that the defensive tackles they had in plays before those guys got in maybe weren't up to snuff. And that's probably why we've seen the Cowboys make that flurry of moves right before the season started. But for two, that gives me some encouragement as a Cowboys fan to really feel like, hey, we may have something here, and we may finally have a run defense that doesn't actually get ran over and can fight themselves out of a damn paper sack, right? So that is very, very encouraging to me, and it was exciting to hear Maurice Luafau say that. In addition to DeMarvion Overshown commenting on his health and his mindset about his health and how he got injured last season.
And how you kind of picked yourself up after all of that and what got you through this point?
First of all, I'm a God-fearing man. So just praying and knowing that, I'm right where I'm supposed to be. He ain't make no mistakes. The man didn't make no mistakes. I watched that play where I tore my ACL, and it was a routine tackle. So coming back off that, knowing that I can't let a routine tackle, detour me from what I'm blessed to do, and that's do this, play football, hard, fast, and physical. That's all I know. So basically just training throughout the whole process, knowing when I get back on the field, ain't no running slow. It's back to demo.
So it looks like the linebacker crew and the defensive linemen are ready to go. What about the offensive side of the ball? As I said before, this is also going to be something that's very exciting to see because we get to see Cooper Beebe and Tyler Guyton in action for the first time. Now, it may sound like a bad idea to start two rookie offensive linemen and actually be excited about the prospects of what those guys are going to be, but when you got all pro guys on your line like Tyler Smith and Zach Martin, it makes things a lot easier for those guys. You don't believe me? Believe Cooper Beebe.
The guys you're checking with are Zach Martin and Tyler Smith on both sides of you.
I mean, I couldn't ask for anybody better. Honestly, those two guys, they're true professionals, and that's one of the nice things is, if we get a weird look or something, I can ask those dudes like, hey, what do you think on the ID here? And there's been times, Zach has corrected me, Tyler's corrected me, so it's nice kind of having those checks there right next to me.
Again, music to my ears. A guy that just understands what's going on. He looks like he knows what he's doing. His other veteran teammates are already talking about how he's just a natural leader, and Terrence Steele and what he had to say in his interview.
Man, they're doing it like true professionals. Even though they're young, man, they're just, especially Cooper. Man, look at him. He's just a natural leader. And TG, man, he wants to work. Man, he soaks everything up like a sponge. I couldn't be more impressed with those two.
And just overall, I'm super excited about the rookies, and I love what Mike Zimmer said to the rookies ahead of week one. The message here was beautiful. This is what you want to hear from a defensive coordinator. This mentality that Zimmer is instilling is probably what has me the most excited about this upcoming Dallas Cowboys season, and it's Mike Zimmer telling his rookies ahead of week one, go cut it loose. Let me do the thinking. That sounds so simple, but when you think about the thought that, oh my gosh, we had a defensive coordinator who was sitting in the skybox last season. Now we're going to have a guy that's on the field. He's filling the game out. He's calling plays on the fly. He's adjusting. He understands what he's seeing. He's a cerebral coach. Dan Quinn, to me, got lazy last season. He got lazy with all the talent that he had on that defense. He got lazy with how he was using Micah Parsons. He got lazy with his defensive game plans. It was either turnovers or bust. And Mike Zimmer, he's hungry. He's been through some things, so he's going to be motivated. Mike Zimmer is going to be exactly what this team needs. And honestly, his presence is one of the most exciting things about this entire thing to me. And that's not even talking about the connection that we're going to get to see grow between Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott and Jake Ferguson in the second year now of this Texas Coast offense. This is going to be very, very exciting to see. I'm hoping to see them fill out that playbook a little bit more, do some more complex things, since for the most part, these guys should have the base operations of this particular offense and scheme down. Let's go ahead and throw some more complexity into it so it's not so easy and so predictable when we get into those big games. And I'm just excited to see what Dak Prescott and this Dallas Cowboys offense is going to do against the Cleveland Browns, which again, that is a very, very game defense. And we will get a very good look at what this team will be for the rest of the season. This couldn't have been a better first game for the Cowboys. It's not the best team in the league. It's not the worst team in the league. It's not a middling team. It's a playoff caliber team with one of the better defenses, and it's going to test the Cowboys in every way that we need to be tested, and we need to see ourselves be tested as fans. And I honestly cannot ask for for anything more than that. So yes, I'm super excited about this upcoming Week 1 game. And again, you should use my link in the description below to bet with BetUS if you can afford to gamble. Gamble safely, y'all. But either way, we still the same old Cowboys. Appreciate BetUS for sponsoring this video. And go Cowboys!
Calling me, texting me, paging me, asking me, am I still them boys? Y'all usually check on me. Listen. I'm still them boys. Hey! Woo! Oh, shut up, my boy. Hey! I'm still them boys.